So to set up a quick demonstration for two-stroke, I have Boxcutter open and we have our box, which I'll just begin cutting. And with our cuts placed, we have auto parenting on, which means that if I move the object, the cutters will go along with it. But in order to demonstrate this example properly, we'll also need to duplicate this. If I were to Shift D, we see that the cutters do not go along with the object. And for that reason, inside Q operations, we have an option called Uniquify, which if we shift click it, it will uniquify in addition to put us in a translation mode where we can quickly move it over. The cutters are exposed for this, but if we just press 1, we can go back to our general collection, and now we have two objects that are exactly the same that are still live with their modifiers intact. So Blender has the ability to convert an object into a grease pencil stroke. So if we click on object and we go to convert, we can convert this to grease pencil, which gives us something that looks like this, which is pretty cool. You can also go in the F9 and adjust the thickness and your threshold angle and things like that. And one of the things that kind of gets me with it is how it treats faces whenever it comes to the conversion process. As we see, there's been these big blank faces being added over the ingon areas because it solved it kind of like how subdivision would solve it, which isn't entirely the best way. So let's Control Z and undo that, and let's actually put a Triangulate modifier on it. Triangulate is used for kind of getting the mesh to a sane point for things like subdivision, but it can also help in this case. And we should see that this time we won't have that nasty face there. However, we do get another problem. So if we convert this to grease pencil, we now have all these excess lines happening everywhere, which is just tragic, but we don't have issues with white obscuring what's happening. And so for this reason, we sought to make our own convert to stroke kind of operator to maybe do this a little bit more efficiently for our needs. So if we press Q, we can go under Mesh Tools and click on two stroke, and we see that this object's being converted to stroke. There's no issue with triangulation happening that's causing it to give us excess lines on the surface, nor are we dealing with those ugly white faces. So the purpose of this is sometimes you want to just model something quick while you're sketching and then position it into place in order to use it in your sketch, but have it be a 3D model that's converted to a grease pencil stroke, or at least that's what I think it was for. If we change our view over to viewport and we make the viewport white and we turn off all viewport visualizations, you know, it kind of looks like a sketch like that. So one of the weird things you'll notice is that the lines sometimes will just get a little bit odd, but that is just a byproduct of this. Of course, this isn't to replace the very lovely convert to grease pencil or convert collection to grease pencil sketch modifier. This is more just to help with just simple sketches in which you just need to create an object that you need to use inside of a sketch. So let's press X and delete this, and Shift A, add a cylinder. And a cylinder is another case that we also fought with over the course of getting this right, because it's real easy for a cylinder in conversion to a grease pencil sketch to just not work out right. So let's Uniquify this again, just so we have a secondary one to test with and we don't have to reuse the same object. So with our main object selected here, I'm going to go to Object, Convert, Grease Pencil, and we see that, you know, basically every edge was converted to grease pencil, which I guess this could work. You know, I'm just thinking in terms of a sketch, like if you were having to stick out of a robot sketch, how this would come across compared to what we were actually going for. So instead of showing every single edge and every single face, if we were to press Q, go under Mesh Tools and use two stroke, we see this just a simple cylinder. And the best part is if we were to just apply visual geometry to mesh, and we just grab this side edge and we marked it and we mirrored it to the other side using Mesh Machine, then whenever we go through the process of converting it to a stroke, we see that those marked lines also get marked as a stroke. So that's just part of what we're going for with it, you know, not to replace what Blender already has going for it, but just to make something a little bit more useful to our needs. So I hope users get in and try it and find some use out of it.